Hi, preschool parents. By now, you have hopefully had your meet and greet with your child's teacher, and your child has gotten to meet the teacher, play on the playground for a few minutes, and start to get a little bit more comfortable with the idea of school starting. And I just wanted to go over the folders that you got at the meet and greet. You either got a kind of purplish one or a green one, but they have the same stuff in them. Because there are a few things inside this folder that I will need you to return with a signature on them. So in your folder you have found, hopefully by now you have found a letter from your child's teacher and aide, possibly even a schedule in there, and if you didn't see that in your folder you will get it from your teacher once school starts. One of the first things that you will find inside are the health and sign-in form that we will be collecting every day. Looks like this. You will be filling out this top part before you come to school regarding how your child is feeling, making sure that there aren't any of the COVID symptoms. We will take your child's temperature and fill it in right here. And then this part down here is also where you will sign your child in for the day. Time in, signature, phone number. That would be the number where you would be most likely to be able to be reached during the day, and who is picking your child up from school that day. And then at pickup time, we will have a clipboard with labels on it that you will just need to put the time and a signature, and I will attach the label to this bottom part here. So this will serve as both the health check form for the day and the sign-in and sign-out sheet that is required by the state for us. So one piece of paper to keep track of instead of multiple pieces. You got a packet of 4 to start with. You will get a packet of these every week of school, or as long as we are required to continue to use these for health reasons. Another part of your folder is the waiver and release of liability form. It's important that you look at this, read it, sign it on the back. Just talks a little bit about that although we are taking as many precautions as we possibly can to keep everyone free of illness, there is still a risk by being at school, and you're signing that you understand the risk and are okay with taking it. So I do need these signed and returned next week when school starts. Another thing for you to read and sign is the New Hope Preschool Parent Handbook. Looks like this. The part that you sign after you read it is this bright pink sheet. You can't miss it. You will cut off this bottom portion here and return that in your child's backpack. Please do take the time to really read the handbook. I usually go over this more when I'm able to meet with parents all in a big group every year, and there's a lot of policy information in here that will be helpful to you, especially if you are new to our program. But even if you are seasoned veterans of our program, there's always a few changes every year, and there's a few new policies in there that have to do with COVID. So it's important that you please read through this, and once you've read it, sign and return the pink sheet. Then for your benefit, hopefully this is helpful, this light green paper is the parent cheat sheet. This is a quick guide to let you know what you need to send with your child to school. The first thing it says is label everything with your child's name. Please, please, please do this. It helps so much. And with parents not being in the building at drop-off and pickup, it will be harder for us to know whose items belong to whom if they don't have a name on them. Please apply sunscreen before coming to school. Also very important, especially with this hot weather that we've been having, because we are spending a considerable amount of time outside, even a little bit more than we have before. And we want the kids to be protected from the sun. Send your child in clothing that is comfortable, easy to move in, and that you don't mind if it gets dirty. Preschool is a messy place. We want the kids to play and have fun and be comfortable. We want them to be able to independently pull their pants up and take them down when they need to use the bathroom, and not be bothered by having to undo fasteners that are tricky, or like one piece outfits are especially tricky, especially for the little girls who sometimes wear those. So keep in mind what your child is wearing to school, including shoes that are rubber soled, closed toed are best. Crocs are okay. They're not ideal, but they're okay, much better than flip-flops or other kind of strappy sandals. Your child needs a backpack that he or she can carry, because they will have to carry them on their backs from the entryway down to the classroom. And in the backpack should have a healthy snack that contains at least 2 food groups, lunch that contains at least 4 food groups, a water bottle, a Ziploc bag with a complete change of clothes. This is for potty accidents, as well as art projects that get messy, or wet slides, or whatever else may occur in the classroom. And an extra face covering or mask. They're going to come into the building wearing one. If their mask gets dirty or wet, or they sneeze in their mask, they will need to have another one. We also have some here that a child can use in an emergency. And then as the weather gets cooler, because that won't be too much longer, a jacket and appropriate snow clothing when the time comes. Again, everything labeled with their name, please. So this is your cheat sheet. We have the list of when each class is being dropped off, staggered drop-off and pickup times on this purple sheet, as well as when our delayed start times will be if we have snow and the school district has called a 90-minute delay. This tells you when your class will arrive on the delayed schedule. That probably won't be until October or November, but just wanted you to know it's there. This bright yellow paper goes through the drop-off and pickup procedures. It's pretty self-explanatory. The main thing is, for drop-off, you park your car and walk your child on the courtyard to the wooden doors. That's where we will take their temperature. And that's where the teachers will be there to greet your child and hold them until the entire class has arrived or the 10-minute window is up. It is super, super important that you arrive during your drop-off time. If you are unable to, or you are just running late, you will unfortunately need to come at the last drop-off time, which is 9:20 to 9:30. That way I will be available to escort any children who are late to their proper classrooms. At pickup time, though, all you have to do is pull into the circle drive, pull as far forward as you can, and then we will begin to call children out. They will be escorted by a teacher or an aide, and I will also be out there. The way we will know whose car is whose is you have in your folder a bright green piece of cardstock that has your actual child's name on it. Please put that in your passenger side windshield so that the adult who's out there will be able to see who's next in line and can radio the teacher to bring the children out. In your folder, there's also a list of all of our staff members for this year, and some information on the multiple intelligences philosophy that New Hope Preschool uses to help create our lesson plans for each week. This is some really good user-friendly, reader-friendly information on how the different intelligences work. And the yellow page, also on multiple intelligences, just gives you some more detailed information front and back. And finally, there's a little poem that just is a good reminder for when your child comes home and says they didn't do anything at school. We've probably all been there with kids when we want to know what they did, and they can't even think of everything that they did. So take a look at this, and you'll understand that when they say nothing, it probably means a whole lot more than just nothing. So that is the folder that you got at parent orientation. It's either pink or green. And then the last thing I want to tell you about is this is something new this year. Because we're not able to have as many face-to-face conversations with all of you, our parents, and that's really super important to us and probably important to you that we have a good communication. We're trying to this year to send home Thursday folders. It will be bright orange. You won't be able to miss it. It'll come home on Thursday. If your child only comes home or comes to school Monday and Tuesday, it will come home on Tuesday. But this folder will have any artwork or projects that your child did for the week, as well as personalized communication from your child's teacher. We are going to be intentional about writing down special anecdotal notes and records on kids for the week so that you have a better sense of what they did each day. So there'll be a little blurb about each child that's personal to your child. And this also can serve as a back and forth folder. If you have questions that you want to write and place back in the folder, you're welcome to do so. Your teacher will get it when you return it to school on Monday or whenever the next day is that your child comes to school. So on the last day of your child's school week, just look for this orange folder. And if you have any questions about anything inside, please let your teacher or myself know. All right, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you have any questions at all about what I just went over, I am always available by phone, by email, and I welcome your questions. I welcome your concerns and your communication. And if there's anything at all that's bothering you, I hope you'll bring it to my attention so that we can try to work through it together. We really are partners in your child's education, and we have to be even more so now than ever before. So I thank you so much for your time. It's going to be a great year. I cannot wait to get this place filled up again with kids and get to know all of the new ones and welcome back our returners from last year. Thanks again.